In a world where no one could hear him, he soldiered on to a journey of souls and sword. Soul Calibur. This y'all. This y'all is definitely coming to Von Souls. For sure, though. Like for real, dog. I promise you, it is coming to Von Souls. No kidding. Drumming to tonsils, this thrall. Yep. What's up? Come on, game. Go up. There we go. Very intense, just out of context. Funny. Move the chat up a little bit more. They keep getting taller because he's standing up more. That works. I feel like he's crooked though, but I'll fix that for tomorrow or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Fucking stop it. Hey, Cassie. Not much. Gonna play more Ace Attorney. How are you doing? I assume they made the back of his hair weird because he's supposed to be like an ancestor of Phoenix Wright, but it's so like random. Yeah, clearly they were like, here's Phoenix Wright. And then we gotta figure something out. All these boys. Or all this boy. All this boy. Get all these chickens. That's still 2 minutes left. Still for 2 more minutes. Audio sounds good to me, but you don't know if you're a good test anymore. Valid. This is good. Appreciate this feedback. By the way, I am recording a VOD on Twitch this time, so if anybody sees anything that they want to clip, then now you can do that. As opposed to like the last 6 months or something when I haven't had any VODs. Second of November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendants. Antechamber 5. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. A grim sight, but before I knew it, it started finding inconsistencies in testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying! If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again! Anyway, it looks as if we're exposed to your phantom lady at last. Ms. Giselle Brett. Student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everybody from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, he was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and after I just bent down and picked it up, bang. I didn't have the time to think of where the sound of the gunshot had came from. The waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet. And he bundled me into some small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yeah, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside the dining area. Huh. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikotoba. Well, seems I was right. Pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system, even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his friend avert the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyways. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? Huh. So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then. Looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes. Need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place at that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, do you know the victim? Yes, I did. You're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. It was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. Let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to squash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, you hadn't said you believed in me then. I'm fairly sure I'd already been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you? That means a lot. This is a real gamer moment right here. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really gonna give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. This isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. Save the thank yous for after the trial. You treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like. From Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course.
The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aoshi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. You still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders?
Again, terribly sorry. Friendship between our nations really is so fragile. Then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
Secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan? Or England?
Shut up! Shut up, you jumped-up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student. And one who could arguably study harder, too. Standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. This court is pinnacle to our nation's justice system, and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes. Your Excellency!
Hey girl, what's up? Actually, she's probably like 15. I retract that. Hey girl, what's up?
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan! And from such a distant land!
Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea!
Is that true? No idea.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival, my troupe.
Yes, we know all about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yeah. I did that, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Fish and chips, governor! I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what?
Oh, Cockney on the horse, love.
Oh, fish and chips! Oh, hail the Queen!
The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. Comes from London, England. The visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yume University, medical faculty.
Oh my! What a rare treat to hear the dulcet tone of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird song.
As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yeah, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in English classes, Ryunosuke.
The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct?
It's Tuesday, isn't it, mate?
Oh yeah, tea and crumpets!
She says, yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, can't speak any Japanese?
Oh yes, William Attenborough!
like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. Says that it was due to make a presentation at the university. She had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime. Could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Oi, governor! I went down the Wales with me horse!
Apparently it was very frightening and sorrowful sight.
Do you mean to say?
Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right here in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood.
Order! Order in court!
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Home.
Well, looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is.
Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described.
Oh yeah, blood. Got a well nice bunda.
Frightening and sorrowful sight.
Watch off the bits!
I arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only beef steak.
Oh, I'm feeling right best right now!
After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes.
Big Ben go bang boom!
I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I could not have been the culprit.
Yes!
No! I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all!
Objection! Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. And look at this Snow White angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like yourself can imagine whose words the court is gonna believe.
Ugh. Still making the same mistakes, Uranosuke. Mustn't blur it out when you're goaded like that. It's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and 2 witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau. Decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. Testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, a lady was wearing the same outfit she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
Hey, Confused, how you doing? There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. That's ridiculous! If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. Must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yeah, that's what we have to... Yeah, that's what we have to prove now. Be freaking great if the swan started smoking from the mouth and the location of the gun is discovered. Yeah, I agree. And to do so, we'll need to pull her testimony apart.
Fish and chips!
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Slightly late luncheon. Professor wasn't able to eat, so I had myself only. For a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. And I shot him right before my eyes. Press this one.
Yes!
Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no point in repeating that assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side.
Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand.
Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun off the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at the time.
That'll do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Dirty?
Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy.
Seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours.
What nonsense.
Lady's merely stating what she saw. This is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway.
Yes!
It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked up to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not."
That's all you did? You just asked her?
Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No.
Why on earth not? Honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated she did not possess a weapon. Therefore, obviously no need for further probing into the matter.
Or, there was no permission given for further probing into the matter, perhaps.
Think what you will. But if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing her firearm, the prosecution demands you support your assertion with facts.
In other words, he wants evidence.
Oh, freshen up, love!
Lady wishes to point out that of course she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation. She was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, though she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of there. Not get her out of there. I just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. Which is why she's only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course.
Unlike a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You could at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you.
She's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him. Which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she is an elegant, refined, young and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain.
Oh, I love you looking at me! Kisses!
In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform.
I'm dressed exactly the same way you are, except for the flapping red ribbons.
Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. We can't do that. Trial's over. Even you with your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room.
Only too well. I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony doesn't make me feel any better either.
First thing to do is press her on any of her statements that seem slightly off to you. Do that, and an opening will present itself. I promise you.
I need to expose the true face in this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask.
Literally wearing a mask.
That's what I should be aiming for in this cross-examination.
Okay, so what do we know for sure? We know for sure he did not have an argument. So let's press that, I guess. Like, if there was no argument, and we ask her what was the argument about, how would she answer?
Yes! I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over and say hello.
Please, don't get angry with me.
No, I wasn't directing the retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you.
But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor.
I'm afraid your words are in vain.
Sorry?
Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese.
No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyways. Throw it in the trash. Who needs it? Or start talking like you do. English is the future. We must all...
Speak English.
Wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman, huh? Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be.
Anyways, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat.
That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yeah, I still had some coffee to drink. The next time you got up after that. When I finished my coffee and stood up to leave.
Ask about the beef steak.
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hada Clinic, correct?
That's right.
You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering.
Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? Seems so, yes. She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment.
So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Mrs. Brett?
That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events.
Exactly as it was left?
Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant land on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all.
That's right, other than some carbonated water.
Just water?
Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. It appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each.
They each raised a glass of carbonated water.
Wait, they had carbonated water at this time? I had no idea.
What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement?
It's very meaningful. There's only one glass.
That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, how fascinating. Tell us, what is this profound bearing, huh?
Significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. Defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well sidestepped, Council.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you said to be added to your official testimony.
Gladly, she said.
That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm gonna remember that one.
Which one?
Significance will become apparent when the time is right. I should really use that phrase.
I hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Ghosty says, 1767, Joseph Priestley invented carbonated water. Alone and by accident by suspending a bowl of water above a beer vat at a brewery in England.
Oh,
Nifty.
Only one glass.
Yes!
that's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. A short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left.
That is correct, the lady says.
Well, it's odd. It's very odd.
Dear me. What's this odd defense's inability to express itself?
Inosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Oh, obviously it's the cheers.
Cheers?
Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1.
Ah, you're quite right, Counsel. There's only one glass pictured here.
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutia? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table in order to conceal the lady's presence?
That was smooth. Well done, me. Of course not. I would never do something so reckless.
But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Were you trying to tell me you can clink with only 1?
You're, quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table.
Oh, I've booed me knickers!
Inspector, what did the lady say?
It would seem that it was Miss Miss Brett who took the glass from the table.
What?
It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact I'd been there at all, she's saying.
Good gracious!
little soy! There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
Must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before our very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or two in her state of disarray?
That's absurd.
Oh, really? So do we take it that you're now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, beautiful woman of mischief?
What? No, no, no. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene.
Oh, fish and chips, fish and chips! Tea and crumpets!
It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying.
A handbag, you say?
Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch, commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
Oh. Maybe she could have kept a gun in that pouch, huh?
So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed a glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case.
The student has been trying to confuse.
This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed. The lady offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement?
Well, I don't know, really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yeah, you're right. She took the glass away in her handbag. There's a deeper significance there. It's
Handbag. She could have kept a gun in that shit.
Wait! The lady put her glass in a handbag, you say?
Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. I swear I keep me fish and chips!
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun.
You're right.
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
Really very simple. A gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he did not fire the gun, you can deduce that there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting.
Inspector Hosonaga!
Yes?
Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag the day of the murder?
No, sir. I did not.
As I thought. In other words, another gun. The one that was actually used to kill the professor. Could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Order!
What's the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. You think so, Kazuma?
Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary.
Unnecessary in what way?
I ought to thank the student lawyer. Really. I have a piece of evidence here that I completely forgot about. This photographic print. This print is a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you could see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag.
Well, I never. You can see right through what's inside.
That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment.
Well, the contents are clearly visible.
Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san.
Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once.
Certainly, Your Excellency.
I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. Court has been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted to the court record appears to have no further significance. I am satisfied that there is no longer room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed. There's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No! Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean... this is it?
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weaker meet while the strong eat. You were there wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really gonna be found guilty of a crime I didn't commit? And Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really? Is there no chance of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. Nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Okay, so here's my theory, right? What if it's not see-through? There's just like a print of a glass on it, and this was a planned murder. That's my best guess to what could possibly be the solution. If it has to be in the photo.
Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me,
Objection! Wait, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule out this case right just yet.
His amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That's the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance. There's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Oh, you're right. Why was the picture taken at all? You're right. That is strange. Now that means if there was a problem with the evidence, in some significant detail, I mean, then the ruling of the case at this time would be out of the question.
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
Better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. What, are they gonna throw me in jail twice? Like, what are they gonna do?
I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this Ricky's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate. But this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it.
Very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have all been alluded.
Okay, so... the fuck is this? That seems significant, right? Like, why would they put that on his hand if it doesn't matter? But why would that be significant? Huh. It has to be that thing though, so I'll just go for it.
Yes!
Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist.
That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection! Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle would come out. A burn, you say? On the victim's wrist? Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right.
Go on, Inspector.
Police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. Deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Ouchie points out, unless it's a firm connection to the case we can be shown, cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
Let's give it a look then. Nothing shape. Up. 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 Look at that. I can't show you guys because it's not in the thing. Oh, there we go. I just have to hold it. Look at that. Right there.
Fish and chips, Big Ben! You alright, Donkey?
Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Ms. Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean of another university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
Oh. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? You believe this burn has something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right.
I am?
We can just link that burn to the case. If we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again. Pry. Is that how you spell pry? Huh. Learn something new every day.
Just give up, Council. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed, I'm afraid without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture.
But if we had evidence? Evidence that irrefutably linked the burn to the victim's wrist to the case, then would you allow it?
I would, yes.
Tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between the burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what the burn really means.
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court.
Easy. Easy, bro. This one.
Yes!
What's this, Council? Yet another print?
Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. Super weird, but it does seem like pry and prize are often confused. So no, it's pronounced different than pry. They are different words. I'm supposed to say prize? Prise this door back open? Huh. Okay. Why does it mean the same thing then? When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. Yeah, but you can like pry a door open. Like nobody says prise a door open, they say pry a door open. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time of the are recorded forevermore. Exactly, people are saying it wrong and thus language is changing. Okay. So it is right then. It's just like, in old-timey, it would be wrong, but in current, it is right. Okay, cool.
Hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further would really be quite inexcusable.
Actually, may need you to stay with us a little longer. If you don't mind, Miss Brett.
Fishing crumpets.
See, clearly visible in this photograph. How did the victim come to have this unusually shaped burn on his wrist? Reason is recorded here forevermore.
What? How?
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. That's your game. Then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean.
Okay. Those wily British, dude.
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
The plate?
Your Excellency? Are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnival. Ah. This emblem on the plate and the victim's burn are the exact same shape. Ryunosuke, you genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
But, and if that were the case,
I did not choose to save anything.
we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. Could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened at an unrelated time.
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga?
I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster. Certainly.
But,
I would say,
Looking at the picture on the wound, picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. Although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure.
can you be more specific, Inspector?
Well, let's see. The plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade. Burn like that would have taken 3 seconds.
It is inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then.
I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I have not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I can testify without hesitation.
but you're a detective, not a waiter!
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any before it. That's right. The strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day.
That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
For the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, the old antiques dealer, all of us would without question have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Well, yes, I suppose.
The question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think? Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn on his wrist, Dr. Wilson...
Man's already dead, mate.
No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. It's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation.
Counsel? Are you suggesting?
Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already?
Dad?
Knowing what we know now, the only possible explanation.
Man's not shot.
When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
That's madness!
Order, please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Ouchie. It's you who have no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, his whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear this witness again. If it's true as we now believe, the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard. It's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it.
Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But Your Excellency...
The justice system in our court, in our country, may be in its infancy. But rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment.
Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile? Is she into me?
Yes, of course. Oh, man.
I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country after all.
But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue
The Queen's English?
is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of the English gentleman. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with all of you on your own level.
Oh, well, you're the epitome of a true Englishwoman. We are truly honored by this lavish considerations of you graciously afforded us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson.
We're finally going to hear our own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. I'm gonna take like a 5-minute break and then I'll be back. I just need to like rest my voice a bit, drink something. You know, just a little bit. Short one. Alright. Get to this this case. Case of the missing fish and chips. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glass in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides a gunshot. There is some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace. Please, do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyways. Well, I do think this lady might be a bit xenophobic. The face of the fishing kissin' flips. Ooh.
That's the most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court's history. Thank you.
Easy does it. I hope that this is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
Not at all, not at all. I am but a dog that you step on. You queen. All women are queens. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
She was taking away the glass because it was his glass and it had poison. Maybe. Maybe. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what happened here today.
Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible.
Amen!
Thanks? Is that a prayer? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with cross-examination for now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with the witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Tim's death. That just seems highly unlikely, but I don't think I'm gonna get anything out of it. Well, if that's the fact, he would have seen it.
Yes!
Testified before. We're drinking carbonated water, is that right?
Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although... whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table.
afraid I don't remember that.
Oh, curse you, family! Ah, I have enough English to understand that at least. For the benefit of the others in court, it means bless you.
I think it means the exact opposite.
Any hoodle doodles!
Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma.
Oi! Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. There were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate any other cause of death. It can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life.
But it doesn't make sense. Burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. But it cooled even slightly. Wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burnt his wrist on a hot plate as soon as it was brought over from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
And yet, the fact that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right.
Ugh. Oh, that one's free. That one's straight up just free. Interesting. This is an auto. Do the auto thing. The poison could have tasted like whatever. He wouldn't have known. Huh.
Yes!
Without leaving a trace. Someone is shot or strangled or stabbed or thrown from a height. However a person's life is taken, there's always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. Huh. It would be physical traces with all those causes of death. That's true. Maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone exactly how you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
no, perish the thought. Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question? On my honor, I, Taketsuchi Ouchi, will cut down anyone who dare cast such aspirations on a queen!
Way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right. The Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can. You understand.
A killer blow! The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful and a queen!
Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchi is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before, when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. Need to find a way to break her testimony, or cross-examination will be over. But that would mean we have to find a way. Must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma? What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering me? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Hosonaga. The detective? Yes. He seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright. I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but... this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose. Once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again. Hey, welcome back, Cassie. What did you make?
Yes!
Wait.
Yes, there it is again. Detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Until now, the detective has been in stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. Things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity.
What do you mean?
People are actually testifying. They're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. Made curry with the zucchini from the garden. Nice.
You're right.
Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue this man and his train of thought.
Sorry? Pursue?
I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker.
Marker?
The moment we're focused on Miss Brett, the person actually making the current statement. By moving the marker left and right with fucking tutorial bullshit. I get it. AD. Fucking not that hard.
Wait. Excuse me.
Excuse me. What? What's the meaning of this? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. Looked like you were thinking of something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. There's something you'd like to say. Please. Share it with the court.
Objection!
What's the meaning of this? Delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. You can't find fault with her testimony, then cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh. Is that how it works? Absolutely not.
Hmm?
The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved with the case.
Inspector Hosonaga,
Yes?
you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett.
Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. Lady's right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Why? I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. Not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. Preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. crime scene thief? It looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that... This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took from the victim's table. Took to the victim's table on the day in question. Yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it.
I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence.
I think you might be right, Ghosty. I think you might have poisoned him.
Miss Brett. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle. What's that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question.
Very well, counsel. You may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor.
All right. The label's written in a foreign language I don't recognize. You know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. It must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I'm asking. Go to France and ask. You just say that you don't know. Has to be more to the bottle, right? No? I mean, probably gonna lose a life here, but we'll do it. We'll do it.
Yes!
What's this? The bottle of water?
Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison?
The day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass?
Order, order, order!
And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could possibly have done it. Jazeel Brett, it was you!
This is outrageous! To suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence! You little rookie imbecile! Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in right now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one's individual guilt with respect to one crime.
Huh?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We're here to determine the truth. Oh, if I may. It is you who should be silent.
No, of course. All women are queens.
Where did that come from? You just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady, to what are you referring?
I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. Don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents.
And? What did you find, Inspector?
I ordered a test for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? Tests were meticulously carried out by Chief Coroner himself.
No! No!
I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. Successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours.
I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if she was poisoned.
Thank you, Counsel. I think the cross-examination has clarified everything. The prosecution has asserted a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit.
I'm done for.
The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience that was caused you, Miss Pratt.
Oh no!
I'm just glad the matter's resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this time?
Kazuma? Sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, you'll excuse me now. I really must be leaving.
Hold it!
Please, wait. Isn't that...
What's the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on your court proceedings, Your Excellency. Sasuto Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, carried a small package, wrapped in a fur shiki cloth. And what was in that package? We'll find out tomorrow. My voice is shot, and it's been 2 hours, which is the amount of time that I said I would stream. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate all of y'all. See you tomorrow at the same time. If you missed anything, the VOD is up on Twitch now. And if you want to clip anything, same thing there. The first stream did not get uploaded to Twitch, but it is on my VOD channel on YouTube, which you can find through my Twitter. See you tomorrow.